In tonight's Health Edge, it may be a new risk factor for autism. How far apart parents are spacing out their pregnancies.
Yeah, Chief Health Editor Dr. Parthanandi joins us now with more. What is this about?
You know, it's pretty scary for parents. There's still so much about autism we don't know, and there's a variety of factors that may contribute to the disorder. But this new research suggests that the time between the birth of one child and the conception of the next may actually affect the second child's risk of developing autism. And here's the kicker. It goes both ways. Having the child too close together or too far apart increase the risk. And here's a look at the numbers. Over 45,000 children studied. The risk of autism was 2 to 3 times higher in children conceived less than 12 months after the sibling was born, or more than 72 months or 6 years later. Children conceived 36 months to 47 months later seem to have the lowest risk. That's important to point out. This is really important that the information was also after other factors were also accounted for, including the mom's weight, the birth weight of the second baby, and even premature births, because that was a contention before that you have to factor those in as well.
So many things to worry about.
Yeah, now Doc, my sister and I almost 9 years apart. So why does this matter?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So you're wondering, why does it matter when one child is born? So we think if they're too close together, then what happens is that, you know, women who just are recently pregnant are often nutritionally depleted, especially of folic acid. So we think that could be a factor. When parents have children too far apart, it's inferred that they're having trouble with infertility or having trouble having the child. So we think that infertility and then that long period of time is associative. We can't find a causative factor, but that's what we're seeing.
So if moms are sitting at home listening, I mean, should we wait 3 to 5 years in between? Is that the ideal time? And
Carolyn made a great point before we started. She said, you know, there's so many factors, and that's the key. Autism is a complex, you know, interaction of genetic factors, environmental factors. We just don't know. So what I would say is, listen, if you can do that, pick between 3 to 5 years, sure. But I wouldn't worry. Like, for example, you and your sister are doing fine. So I wouldn't let that worry you. But this is more research. Let's understand more about this disease and see if we can get the research to see why.
Are other factors more critical than this one, environmental and all those things?
You know, that's people have all kinds of ideas. The idea is that when you're pregnant, listen to your doctor, prenatal care, and then don't drink, don't do things that you would abuse your body. But here's the other thing. I would not freak out, because still, after everything's said and done, everywhere you go, you see autism, right? 1% of all the kids that are born have autism spectrum. So even if the risk is increased, I wouldn't try to plan your pregnancy based on that. It's still a small number, even though sometimes when you look at the media and look at the press, it seems like it's everybody you know has autism. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying ignore it. Let's look at the factors, more research, but also bring it down. Don't plan your life based on every factor there is.
And one last thing, if you can answer it quickly. When you think about the age of a man, because we always talk about the women when it comes to getting pregnant, but the age of a man matters too.
Yeah, we always think about the women, and on this show, you know, thank goodness we have 2 strong women who always tell me that the men also matter. So absolutely, the age of the man is also important. But again, it doesn't mean that you have two non-traditional aged parents. You should still try to have kids.
All right.
That's right.
You can make some beautiful kids, right?
Absolutely. You got that right.
A lot of Lettermans out there. Thank you, Dr. Nandi.
Thank you.
All right. If you have a question or a health concern for Dr. Nandi, you can email him, drnandi@WXYZ.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter.